Hey everyone. I've been investigating, and I think I have a way here to get my chat window up on the phone. So if you'd bear with me, I'm going to open it here before we start. You can listen to the beautiful tones of The Last of Us main menu here. Let me get this open. Okay. So there we go. So the chat, I got the chat window open. Again, I don't got a lot of chat contributors during my broadcasts, but I'm gonna plug in my headphones just in case there's any audio off of this. Alrighty. So I'll pick that phone up. Should any messages buzz? But let's jump straight in to more grounded mode from The Last of Us. So we're just out of the subway, which was a bit of a tough area to get through. We're now coming up to the museum, which has one kind of difficult stealth sequence, and generally it's pretty straightforward. We then get to the Tess death scene, which is, as I mentioned in the previous episode, kind of an underrated, very important scene in the game. As I mentioned, the guns and the deal with the Fireflies is not really the motivation for Joel going forward. It is very much this final meeting with Tess that we will get to in about half hour, 45 minutes time, I would say. Again, this is grounded mode, so it might take me a little while. The stealth sequence in the museum is pretty easy, but it's I'm not gonna make health. Wait a minute! Whoa!
We actually made it.
Where are my Molotov crafting thingies?
Everyone okay?
Yes. Let's move.
Whoa, buddy!
You guys are pretty good.
Whoa, buddy! Have we had a little glitch here?
And it is gonna run.
Oh, let's see if I pick up a Ooh, this looks bad. It looks like you should always have. It should be here in the crafting menu. Oh god, if I have somehow glitched my way into not having the Molotov recipe, I'm sure I'll pick it up again later, because you can miss guns and pick them up later in the game. Oh, that's bad if that's the case, because I might have to if I've somehow, like, it's nothing I did, but if the game has somehow glitched out and I don't have the Molotov recipe, I might have to fucking redo all this. I won't do it on stream, obviously, but that is going to be an issue. Holy shit. Don't do this to me, video game.
Where we going, Tess?
I'm going this way.
Capital building.
Yeah, it's over there. I got it. I'm searching for supplies here. Searching for a goddamn fucking Molotov ingredients. So we need to get the yeah, I know, I'm getting to it. We need to get the trolley out of this room here, or the dumpster even, and just there's some guys in here we need to take out. I'm seriously worried about this Molotov thing, because the Molotovs are super important. So there's some guys in here. I gotta be sneaky catchy monkey. Okay. I'm gonna connect my controller here because it's about to disconnect. Hang on. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about this Molotov thing, you guys. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do if that's gone, because I can't. I don't want to say I can't, but it's gonna be fucking tough to beat the game without that. So those billiards there with the velvet rope, those do make noise if you hit them. I think I mentioned on a previous episode, certain objects in the world have physics, for lack of a better term, like that. I don't think that animation counts as making noise, but so I don't think she can see us when she's in her little. Yeah, she can. And so that loud animation is how you know you've actually gotten the last one in the area, because basically everything is quiet when you're undetected, and if you're undetected and you do a loud move, that means there's none other in the area.
Which means there's more in the area. We gotta go.
Okay. And over we go.
Climb on up.
Here's a neat little tidbit. I mentioned kind of in a previous episode, there's not a lot in the way of actual printed materials in this game. It's a lot of handwritten journals and stuff like that, but this is one of the few, like, sort of as the outbreak was happening documents. It is basically about the incubation and the transmission and the treatment of the virus. You can kind of read it there in your. It's nothing especially interesting. Again, it's very much just some flavor text about the thing. But it's well constructed, just like all the handwritten notes look like handwritten notes. That looks like an actual kind of medical pamphlet. So that's pretty neat. So we're gonna go through here and we'll have a little cutscene that I believe was used in some of the trailers.
Over here.
Oh yeah, I know, lady.
Maybe we can cut through here.
Yeah, that worked out great last time. Sorry.
What? I don't hear anything.
Okay, double time. They're coming.
I know.
Okay, that's good, go. You got something on your shoe. Gross.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not nice. That the sound effects of them banging and screaming are
Okay.
pretty horrible.
How do we get out of this place?
Let's find out.
Okay, so there's our first crafting table.
Well, that's
And here's some important dialogue.
Well, how were you bitten? I mean, you must have been somewhere you shouldn't to find an infected in the zone.
Yeah. I'd sneak out. I was in this military boarding school.
You'd sneak out?
You know, explore the city. I was in the mall when I ran into infected.
That place is completely off limits. How the hell did you get in there?
I have memories. Anyways, one of those, what you guys call runners, bit me, and that was that.
Yeah, so I don't know how far ahead they thought with this stuff. But everything she's talking about there about sneaking out, the military boarding school, I was in the mall, all that stuff is explored in the Left Behind DLC and the comic book, both of which are excellent. I think I've said that before. They are both excellent.
All right, let's see what we got.
So some little tips here. I cannot see how many parts I have because my stupid face is in the way. I might have to look at that like off stream or something. I don't know. Is there a way I can fucking look at this shit? I still do not have the fucking Molotov thing. That's really frustrating. Yeah, I have no way of telling how many parts I have while I'm streaming. I am... Fuck it. So this gun is a piece of shit. I mentioned that when we started the game. It's very bad. It is your last resort. It's kind of useful as a last resort because by not using it so much because it sucks, you can kind of save it up, and I suppose it's a good last resort. This gun is really good. You'll get more powerful guns along the way, like the Diablo, but this obviously the Diablo has like one shot before you have to reload. This is a good all-rounder. So reload speed is very, very good. Fire rate isn't worth much, especially in this mode when ammo is such a factor. So let's go reload speed for 1 here, and I think I might hold off on anything else. So one thing that I kind of learned from doing repeat playthroughs is don't feel obligated to blow all your parts at this early juncture. Don't put anything into this because it's not worth it, so save your money there. These are pretty good, the weapon holsters. They allow for quicker swapping between weapons because they assign more to the D-pad rather than having to use the X button to scroll between them. But I don't have the tools to make that yet. I'm not going to go fire rate on that because you know what? I'll go fire rate for 1. I'll upgrade it 1. I'm not going to put any more parts into the fire rate of that because I don't think it's I don't think it's worth it.
This one goes out.
So yeah, don't. So invest in the revolver. Do not invest in the 9mm. Let's explore around here again. Got to be thorough because everything counts here. There's our Molotov. All right, I can. Yes, okay. That was scary. That was very scary. And I can make another one. Radical. So one thing you're going to notice as I play through this game is I'm going to be trying to melee my way through this difficulty, and also, so I have a stick. If at all possible, I'll be trying to not use the sticks and the pipes, because you want to save them for difficult sections. I mentioned in a previous episode, this difficulty. Something in here? I'm having trouble recalling this part of the map. This difficulty kind of encourages you to do perfect runs, because you're going to need to. There are certain unavoidable combat sections where you have to fight. You have to directly fight people, and in those sections you have to use your ammo. So for the stealth sections, you better be stealthy, and for the sections where you're fighting runners, you better fight the runners with your bare hands, because you are going to regret it if you don't. You don't want to blow your ammo at all on this difficulty. So we've got our goddamn Molotov. That's me relieved. Ellie is going to break the vase. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. I believe she is not. Oh, she's going to do it. Here we go. Yeah. You going to do it? You going to wait for me to turn around? There are certain things that won't happen until I don't look at her.
Sorry, that was me.
Tess.
Sorry.
Come on, stay close to me.
I love the way Joel says Tess, like, teacher, please deal with this child that I want nothing to do with. Yeah, there's a couple of actually very, very cool scenes where, in order to kind of protect the integrity of what's going on, Ellie won't do something when you're looking at her, so that's a good example. They try to scare you with that, obviously, so she doesn't do it while you're looking at her. And there's another scene, obviously, there, the toy that she gives to Sam later on in the game. You can just about get a glimpse of her picking it up in the toy store if you look away from her very quickly and then quickly look back. You can see her kind of getting up from the ground. You can see the bottom half of that animation. That's a very cool touch, because you don't see her directly pick it up in a cutscene, so you might think to yourself, well, when did she have time to pick that up? Does it really make sense that she'd have that toy, because we don't see her take it? But she actually, if you look closely enough, you can see her take it. It's again, the nuances of the AI is one of the things they put a lot of work in this game, and it paid off.
Really?
So again, you know, Ellie's never been outside the quarantine zone. She doesn't know what a museum is, or well, not that she doesn't know, but she doesn't know that this is a museum. The supply situation is fucking sparse. So we're gonna get separated from the girls here, and there's gonna be a not super difficult stealth section, but it's gonna be difficult because it's gonna have clickers, and they are going to have a heightened sense of hearing on this difficulty.
I'm alive. I'll make my way around.
Look, they're here!
Tess?
Run!
Yeah, so there's a shiv door in this section as well that I'm going to want to use, because shiv doors are awesome. Okay, so there's a clicker in there. I'm going to try and book it here to...
Tess.
Okay, so as I kind of mentioned, shut up, Joel. Their hearing on this difficulty is insane. It is insane. So you're really not going to want to fuck around here. You coming in here, ugly? I don't believe you are. Are you? Are you? Oh, you are. Oh, fucking Christ. If they detect me, I can kind of lead them away. There's about 3 of them, 3 or 4 in this section. It's manageable. I'd really rather not. I'd really rather not engage at all. I have to move so slowly on this difficulty because that thing will hear me pretty much. It's getting kind of close. So I mentioned in a previous episode. That these things become extra difficult when you disturb their patterns. So that thing did a lap and now it's leaving. Even though they're infected, they basically have kind of traditional stealthy human video game patterns. They do a lap, they search. They're not in the universe, they're not searching, but in terms of AI patterns, they're searching. With humans in this game, if you alert them and then hide it from them again, they'll go back to their patterns. If you alert these guys and then you go back to hiding and they lose you, for lack of a better term, their patterns become completely unreadable. It is a nightmare trying to get away from a clicker after you've alerted it. So, especially on this difficulty, it's highly recommended that you avoid them altogether. You really don't want to. It's kind of what I mentioned about this mode encouraging perfect play. You don't want to. You just don't want to make an error basically at all in this mode. So I just used another shiv there. I mentioned at the first shiv door. Shiv doors, even on this high difficulty, are pretty much always worth it. I kind of got, again, a pittance in here. I got some pills. I got 2 bullets, 2 whole bullets, and I got some gears for upgrading my guns. It's not a lot, you know. Do I have enough for the weapon sway? I do not. Again, I can't see how much I have. It's really frustrating. I can't move that thing. I can't move the camera. I mean, I think the PS4's streaming stuff is pretty cool. I think it's pretty well done. I'm very happy with it. I've had a great time with it. I think the YouTube stuff is great too because the YouTube allows for archiving. Oh, buddy. If I get cornered in here, I have a brick and a 2x4, so I can use the trick I used in the last episode to kill him in one hit. But I'd really rather not. I'd rather, because that will alert the rest of them. So unfortunately, I kind of have to wait. I'll wait for it to do its lap over by the counter where I was hiding a second ago, and I should be able to duck out. And once we get out, we will go upstairs, and there will be a cutscene, which I think is the cutscene where Tess gets bitten. You don't explicitly see her get bitten, but you walk in on her being grappled by an infected, and then 2 scenes later she's like, hey, I got bit an hour ago. So you don't explicitly see it like, oh no, she's being bitten, but you see her in some shit, and then later she reveals. Also, again, a testament to the excellent I'm going to make a go for it here. A testament to the excellent performances and direction. If you listen to her dialogue and her delivery in the scene immediately after she is seemingly bitten, she's frazzled, like she's obviously kind of realizing she's up shit creek and she's trying to hide something from Joel. Fuck you. Hurry up, Joel. Okay, I can't close that door behind me, but so again, because they've been alerted, even just throwing the brick, I've now basically destroyed their patterns. So we can hear some an infected banging above. So it's never happened to me, but technically they are a liability to kind of wander up the stairs, but they won't. I mean, it's possible, but I've never had it happen. So there's one infected in here. I'd hate to waste the 2x4 on him. Let's see actually if I can. I'll try and headshot him with the. I'll use the shitty pistol. That worked better than I was expecting. Okay, so here we go. So there, yeah, that guy. Oh, physics. Ellie's on her fucking own, by the way. This section's tough because there is a bunch of these guys. and you have to try and do a bit of crowd control, which is a very real thing. Even on the lower difficulties, crowd control is a... Alright, so we got another wave coming here. There's one behind me. Shit. Again, the lack of checkpoints in this mode means there can be some annoying deaths where it's like these are kind of easy enemies, but if you get caught off guard, it sucks. You know. Sounds like there's one left. Alright. So, yeah, crowd control. A lot of running around like an idiot. A lot of running around like a bitch. So, yeah, just pay attention to this kind of dialogue coming up here with Tess. She obviously sounds out of it. There's a very panicked, oh shit. So, and there she is looking out. So, I'll let this speak for itself.
Tess, how are you holding up?
Just a bit winded. Look this way. This will get us to the roof.
So, yeah, I mean...
How about you, Kate? You okay?
Define okay.
Are you still breathing?
Do small panicked breaths count?
Yeah, they count.
Right. Then I'm okay.
So yeah, all those little icons that signal a conversation, those are all optional. There's a trophy for all of them. Some of them are actually kind of obscure and not as obvious as those. They're all, with the exception of one or two, like on Tommy's Dam, are very pointless. They're just talking to NPCs, and they're like, "Hey, you're looking good. You know, this is Tommy's setup. You must be Joel." You know, other than that, most of them are pretty cool. Again, everything about this game.
We gotta find a way across.
Yeah, I know, Tess. Shut up.
She is.
I'm putting over the game here. Yeah, so there's your Uncharted moment of look in the distance and see your goal. But yeah, all the optional conversations, everything about this game that you don't have to do, the vast majority of it contributes to the game in some way, tells you something about the characters, contributes to the game's tone, the very bleak kind of dire tone with a shred of hope and, you know, like a level of charm. Like it's bleak, but it's not like depressing. It's like the characters have a bit of heart. So all the optional dialogue, all the flavor text, I always encourage people to always read and take in as much as they can. So there's Ellie being a resilient little preteen, or teenager, I guess. Look how ominous that is. If this was Uncharted, that would break.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, can't deny that view.
Come on, this way.
And here's a great bit of animation. Looks down at the watch.
Hey, let's pick it up.
I mean, you know, the watch is obvious symbolism, and it's not like a character looking at a gift from another character is some kind of mind-blowing thing. But it's a small nuanced animation. It's you know, he could have, you know, it's just subtle enough that I really like it. You know, she's obviously very cocksure and very reminiscent of his daughter.
It's right around this corner. Come on.
And again, it's kind of like when you get to the scene in the fall chapter when they have the fight, but ultimately they stick together, and Joel goes back on the idea of sending her off with Tommy. You kind of ask, why does he do that? But as early as that scene right there where he looks at his watch, as early as there, you're getting these little indications that he's looking at her going, you know, she's not... She has heart. She's someone who's kind of special, and she's not just a piece of cargo, as he identifies her very early on. I believe there's some bullets here. There usually is. Yeah, one whole bullet.
Look at this.
There's a Firefly logo on his arm.
Another dead Firefly.
Get there and they're all dead.
That won't happen, Ellie. Come
I
on.
know.
I just do.
Make sure she's, you know, safe.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
It's weird. Because, yeah, so there's Tess saying it has to be okay because obviously she's fucked. It's weird because they put all this emphasis on Ellie being okay and getting to the hospital in one piece, even though they are going to remove her brain, as we find out in the finale. But I guess that's kind of Marlene, you know, the tie-in there, that she obviously doesn't want Ellie shot in the field by a Firefly. Or perhaps they need the brain to be alive to work. I don't know, but they put all this emphasis on Ellie being alive and being in one piece.
Home stretch, Tess.
So here is a beautiful bit of scenery. Again, this game looks pretty good on the PS4, but man, on the PS3, this was so... Remember the tail end of that generation, 360, PS3, and everyone was like, I need a new console. These things have been pushed to their limit. You know, the games were looking awesome, but they could look so much more awesome.
Just so it's out there, I can't swim.
And this was just such a
It looks
good-looking
like a shallow
game.
on the right side. Follow me.
I'm glad Marlene hired you guys.
What do you mean?
I know you guys are getting paid for this, but I'm trying to say thanks.
Yeah, sure thing.
But yeah, really beautiful game coming out at the tail end. I mean, look, lots of good games come out at the tail end of the generation visually. It's when everyone's the most familiar with the consoles and what have you. But I remember thinking this was just so stunning. There's a Firefly pendant in that little house there. Again, the areas in this game are a lot bigger than they look. Like, there's nothing down that end there, down by that misty... At least I don't believe there is. In terms of collectibles for trophies and stuff, there's nothing down there. But you can walk down there. You can walk in here if you want to get a Firefly token. Like, they put a lot of effort into just giving you a bit more room to just explore, get a sense of the scenery. Both in terms of combat and also exploration. They made the levels more open-ended here than your typical Uncharted game. And I think it benefits a lot. It benefits a lot because you can take more of the world in. But also it benefits in terms of, like... This is not an Uncharted game. This is something different. It's, you know... And I love Uncharted. That's not a knock. So, here we go. A Revelaton, as Matt from Two Best Friends Play would say.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's one of those things, kind of like Sarah dying at the beginning. You have to see this coming.
Now?
And this is a very important scene, as I said. So I'll let it speak for itself here.
Maybe they had a map or something to tell us where they were going.
How far are we gonna take
As
this?
far as it needs to go. Where was this lab of theirs?
Oh, she never said. She only mentioned that it was someplace out west.
What are we doing here? This is not us.
What do you know about us? About me?
I know that you are smarter than this.
Really? Guess what? We're shitty people, Joel. It's been that way for a long time.
No, we are survivors.
This is our chance.
It is over, Tess! Now we tried. Let's just go home.
I'm not going anywhere.
So there you have it.
Last stop.
He was willing to give up there. So before he realizes Tess is dying, he is willing to give up.
Run out sooner or later.
You know, he doesn't care about the guns.
No, don't.
The Firefly fucking bounty.
Touch me.
Holy shit.
As I said in a previous episode, that is kind of one of the criticisms that I saw early on when this game just came out. It was like, why does he bring Ellie? What's his motivation? The guns? It's like, no, the Tess death is the most important thing that happens, like, in the entire game.
Show it to me.
She's like the only thing he has in his life at this point, 20 years after the world has ended.
Oh, Christ.
And now she's dead, and she says the following speech about you have to fucking fix this. And obviously she has her meltdown there about, look, let's stop calling ourselves survivors. We're assholes who kill people.
I was bitten an hour ago, and it's already worse. This is fucking real, Joel. You've got to get this girl to Tommy's. He used to run with this crew. He'll know where to go.
No, that was your crusade. I am not doing that.
Yes, you are. Look. There's enough here that you have to feel some sort of obligation to me, so you get her
So
to
yeah,
Tommy's.
not saying that they were a couple, but there's enough here that you have to feel an obligation. Yeah, fucking unbelievable performance from Annie Wersching in the
I
scene.
can buy you
Really
some time, but you have to
killer.
want
She
us
is
to just
awesome
leave you
in this
here?
game.
Yes.
There's no way that...
As is
will
Troy
not
Baker,
turn
obviously.
into one of those things.
So yeah, there's Tess's.
Make this easy for me.
Look at Tess's face here.
No, just go. Just fucking go.
She kind of takes a deep breath before she turns around and raises her gun. And it's one of those moments where I looked at the facial animation and I was like, this game, man, looks fucking unbelievable. Like, just visually, just technically, this game looks awesome. Like, watch, you'll see it here. That almost crying deep breath. It's, oh, man. If nothing else, I mean, Naughty Dog games are not for everyone. They're not. But man, technically, you have to just admire these games. They are so well done, and they are
I can't
so...
believe we did that.
Stop.
They are so basically in a league of their
Just
own.
left her to die.
Stop. Stay close to me. We have to move.
Oh man.
I'm not sure what the actual time constraints are here. I don't know if I can die in this section. But I should book it anyway.
We'll go upstairs. Just keep pushing forward.
So yeah, we can hear Tess die in the background, and we will see her dead in just a couple moments. It's brutal. I mean, it's crazy. Like, the game makes you look at her, or not makes you, but you can see her dead.
Tess.
Obviously, you can fire on those guys if you want. I don't think there's a point to. I don't think you benefit from it. I don't know if those are the guys you will ultimately face in this next section. So here we get our next weapon, our next toy, the rifle. The rifle and the bow and arrow both take some getting used to, but when you do get used to them, they're very cool. So this next section is tough. So this is one of those grounded mode, insanely difficult because you have to get through in one shot.
What do we do? Joel?
I got this.
There's a guy running around up there. I've never seen him before. Okay, so yeah, this is a get through this section in one go level. I forgot this section was here. I might take ages to do this, so when I do eventually get through it, I'll probably call the episode here, because this took me for fucking ever the first time I played it on PS3. So as I mentioned on the previous episodes, part of the problem with this difficulty is shit. I'm already spotted. Okay. So part of the problem with this difficulty is they remove checkpoints, and that actually feels like a bit of a quality of life issue rather than an actual difficulty issue. So I have to get through this section, which in the game would be a checkpoint, through this hallway and downstairs, and then through an even more packed out crazy hallway of guys armed to the teeth. As I said, there would be a checkpoint between those two sequences in the other difficulties. If I die anywhere between here and the next cutscene, I come back here. It is punishing. It is absolutely punishing. But that is the way the cookie crumbles on this difficulty mode. I can see there's a guy there. If I just... Okay. Who saw me? I have no idea who fucking saw me. Also, I've no idea who saw me when I grabbed the guy and I did the loud takedown. Also, if you are new to Last of Us and you're just watching me do it this way for some reason, I'm actually gonna be tempted to just do this. It's a waste of a Molotov, but this is a tough ass section, so I'm gonna do it. I don't have any control over the loud or quiet takedowns. That is all determined by whether or not I'm detected. The game automatically does it loudly or quietly. I don't push a different button to do it one way or the other. So I think we got one guy left. But where is he? Is the question. Okay, so that was, like I said, I kind of wanted to, if at all possible, save my ammo for the tougher sections. But you know what? This is a tough section of this difficulty, so I got two guys with one Molotov there, so I'll call that a win. I don't know. I saw a dude moving around, but I don't know if he's trying to come around on me this way or what he's trying to do. Again, I have no listening mode, so I can't game the system here. Again, this is kind of why this mode, and also survival mode, which is the difficulty below this, that survival is really great. It's almost as hard as this, but it's kind of less. It's less like punishing, like less deliberately punishing. Like the checkpoint issue is not there. If you read like NeoGAF threads and subreddits for this game, this mode and survival mode are heavily touted as the correct way to play. Not in a snobbish way, like I think the Last of Us community is pretty great. I've never... Did that guy... Shit, he did. So triangle is to counter. There is a prompt telling you as such. in the other difficulties, but it is not here on this mode. So so you have to do without. You have to just know by the animation when to counter. But yeah, so Last of Us community, very cool. A lot of them will tell you should play on the higher difficulties. I don't actually believe in that. I think it's great fun to do it.
Joel, how are we gonna get
Shut
out
up,
of here?
Ellie. I think normal difficulty, per the standards of your regular AAA game, is pretty tough. I actually don't think Last of Us is that easy at all. So that's 2 down. Oh no, that guy survived. Okay, well. Shit, that is a waste of ammo, man. Okay. So they're coming this way, so I'm gonna try and get through this way. I took one of them out, which is pretty good. I've never adapted that strategy. I typically don't shoot first, but you know, extenuating circumstances. This is a difficult part of the game. The rifle is tough to get used to, as is the bow and arrow. A lot of people shit talk the bow and arrow online. It is good when you get used to it. It's silent and it can be deadly, but like a lot of bow and arrows in games. Shit. One thing you can do in this section, which I think I'm going to do now, you can make a break for the door and just go. That is a valid.
There's the exit.
I see it.
I can't believe I'm getting through this first try. Go 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 go. Again, in this difficulty mode, it is one hit kill. I don't want to fuck around here. Ooh, I can't believe I got through this first try. I cannot believe I did that after I. Spores. Yeah, so to be fair, I've played through that section before on the PS3. I must have died 20 times. It was so hard.
How the hell are you breathing in this stuff?
I wasn't lying to you.
So there you have it. There's like Joel's verification that she is not she's immune, for lack of a better term. I believe in this section you can. I think in this section you can avoid detection, and they will eventually fuck off. I can't remember if I've ever done that before. This is fairly easy because it is just the two of them. It's this guy and that guy. Ellie, as you can see there, is freaking out. She doesn't know where to hide. The AI is questionable.
They're not here.
One of the main issues of this game. Not a lot of issues with this game, but Ellie's AI, which is generally pretty good, it does freak out sometimes. So
you're here.
No, you don't, buddy. So I believe with this guy done, we are good to go. So this is one of the creepiest early sections in the game because let me turn the light on here. There is a tease, and it is just a tease. There's a tease of a stalker in this area. The stalkers are the ones that are halfway between clickers and runners. They're the ones that are kind of like almost intelligent because they have the deadliness of a clicker, but they still have their sight. And they're the ones that will actually hide from you, and they will jump out at you. They're in the toughest sections of the game. They're very cool. And this whole area obviously is very creepy. It's very infected. There are no infected enemies in this area, which is kind of a surprise. It's almost like they're deliberately kind of baiting you. I don't think there's any collectibles here for me, so I'm gonna mosey on here. But yeah, so we're gonna find a note in just a minute that's like, hey, I think I saw a stalker, and it's like you don't even know what a stalker is at this point in the game, and it's kind of gearing you up for a big scare, and it doesn't come. This area is completely enemy free. But this game is creepy. It's gross. The infected are disgusting. The areas with the infected are disgusting. This is a great horror game. It really is.
We'll figure something out.
There's a little pathway she's going to take alongside there. Meanwhile, we are going to swim. The swimming controls on this are not great, but they get the job done considering you only have to swim a couple of times in the entire game. So I'm going to go under here. I can't believe I got through this thing so easily. After I was bigging it up, I wouldn't shut up about how tough it was and how much I died previously.
Ellie?
She's alright.
Fine.
So yeah, she's gonna find a flashlight. There's a flashlight she can take over here. Meanwhile, I will read that note I was talking about. Here we go. Your contact is a dude named...
Still works.
Oh, she's talking about her flashlight. Your contact is a dude named Frank. He's the guy on the outside I've been trading with. He wants into the Boston QZ. Meet him in the Park Street exit to the subway station right by the Capitol building. Attached is his visa and QZ papers. How you like that handiwork? Be careful. Some of the guys are reporting clickers and stalkers in the area. So as you can see there, it's two different types of handwriting. Again, like, look at those. They look like actual handwriting. It's not, you know, Comic Sans. So again, a nice little bit of tying everything together. Frank is the suggested lover. They don't explicitly say it, but the partner of Bill, who we're going to meet in about an hour. And of course, you eventually find Frank dead. He kills himself because he's bitten, so he kills himself. And before he leaves, he basically he leaves Bill a note saying, "I always fucking hated you. I'm out of here. I never want to see you again." So if you missed this note, or maybe you get it but you just don't remember when you see Bill, because that's hours from now. He was not only leaving Bill, he was actually going to go to the quarantine zone where we are from. So again, it's just a nice way of tying things together. Plus, this person here who wrote this note was dealing goods with Frank, and Frank and Bill, they dealt with Tess and Joel. So obviously there was a smuggling ring going on here. I'm being ridiculed for streaming over YouTube, over Twitch. Hey, YouTube, my friend, has archiving. Hello everybody watching on the archive. Shout out to Will in the chat. So yeah, we got, where the hell is this guy? I've been waiting here for over 2 hours, sweating bullets. I keep seeing something move in the shadows. It's a stalker, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, when you read that, you don't know what a stalker is. It's pretty scary. So this is...
Leave me here, right?
Settle down, Ellie, settle down. There is...
Just stay put.
some goodies here. We got some pills. There's a Firefly pendant down here. But more importantly, there are some like supplies and some gears. I'm not getting all the Firefly pendants, obviously, because some of them are out of the way, including that one. But like I said, there was gears there, so I'll get that one. So let's get some air. Back out we go. Again, the areas are...
Dead end.
The areas are nice and kind of little explorable. Like, that's actually pretty hidden if you don't know where it is. Like, it's easy to miss that. Lots of nice little alcoves and side tracks you can explore for goodies, or for notes, or for logs, or for extra fights. You know, it is much more open-ended than not just Uncharted, but I would say a decent amount of AAA games. So let's get this on here.
Get on.
Really?
Ellie.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I will...
Be careful.
Yeah, she can't fall, by the way. I've seen people trying. You cannot knock her off this, as funny as it would be. So we're going to watch the cutscene that ensues here. And then we are going to call it, as we are reaching the end of a fairly, you know... This is a big section. We had the test scene, which, as I said, a lot of shit going on in that test scene. We got the... Joel's unwillingness to admit he's a shitty person. We got Tess's making him promise. You know, we got all that shit going on. So there are no. Every time I play, I check down there. There are no goodies. So we can just persevere. Again, look how gross this shit is.
Get out of here.
You think you've been led to believe there's an enemy here that does not come. So and obviously we got a cool visual here. Yeah. And a cool visual as the cutscene begins and Joel takes the mask, or he pops up with the mask. Yeah. So this cutscene is, again, kind of overlooked. It's not as dramatic as the Sarah death or Tess death, but this is an important little bit of dialogue here about their
Look,
personal histories.
About Tess. I don't even know what
Here's
to...
how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess. Ever. Matter of fact, we just keep our histories to ourselves. Secondly, don't tell anybody about your condition. They think you're crazy, they'll try to kill you. And lastly, you do what I say when I say it. We clear?
Sure.
Repeat it.
What you say goes.
Good. Now there's a town a few miles north of here. There's a fella there that owes me some favors. Good chance he could get us a car.
Okay.
Let's get a move on.
Yeah, one thing I found a bit weird was I remember getting to Billstown the first time I played this game. I kind of lost track of, like, I was like, wait, we're going to Bill to get a car. What are we doing? It's easy to forget Tommy is alive. They mention Tommy in passing when Tess dies, but obviously the drama of the scene, it's kind of hard to parse what's happening because you're focusing on the fact that Tess is dead. But yeah, because I remember actually, I don't know if anyone watching this recalls, but there was a save bug on day one of this game coming out, and if you turned your game off pretty much at all during day one, you lost your progress. I lost my progress on day one of Last of Us. This is how much I love this game. I lost about 4 hours of progress. I lost everything I've just played so far on stream on this channel, and I think about another hour. I think I met Bill, or I was just about to meet him, and I said, this is awesome, I gotta go have food, I gotta go, eat, whatever. I noticed the game wasn't auto-saving properly, so I assumed it was okay because it was auto-saving. Turned it off, turned it back on, no save data. And think about how cinematic and cool and story-driven this experience is. On day one, I had to replay, I had to go through the Sarah death again, and it straight away, it takes from the impact of it, because you've seen it twice now. Oh, but again, it's a testament to how good this game is, because I finished it the next day. I played half of it on Friday, and I finished it on Saturday. But I digress. The reason I paused here is because I'm going to wrap up here. Yeah, I just wanted to make mention of the fact that the first time I played this, I was like, what do we need the car for? I forgot, like, Tommy is alive. They hint that he's dead earlier. He used to run with the Fireflies, so the goal here is get a car, go to Tommy. Theoretically, Tommy will take us to the Fireflies. Obviously, we don't know yet if that's going to happen or not, but I do, and you do if you're watching this, more than likely. So yeah, we're going to wrap up there. I find that from this section onwards is when the game really excels, when it really becomes excellent. Billstown is a great collection of missions. The scenery is different. There's room to explore. Lots of great optional dialogue. Lots of great scenery. Some great set pieces combat-wise. Bill is a fantastic character. I'm really looking forward to it. So that was a good episode in terms of tackling grounded mode's difficulty. I cannot fucking believe I made it through City Hall without dying once. To be fair, I've sucked up some ammo in that scene. I have no rifle bullets; those are all gone, and I used a Molotov. That's gonna hurt me later on without question. So tune into the next episode where I will be panicking and losing my shit. Thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Thanks for commenting. I saw some folks happy to see Borderlands was back. The final episode of Borderlands is coming this week. I had a great time with episode 4. Thanks to everyone who's enjoying this. So thanks as always, and I'll be back again with more. Headset goes off now.